Hey guys, so today's video is going to be 100% mobility and core. Almost every single exercise is something we have done in a previous video, so if you're not sure, refer back to the video. I'll still give demonstrations, but I'm not gonna go as in-depth as I have been in the past. So I want to touch on why I'm doing mobility real quick. Mobility seems to be overlooked in a lot of areas. It's important for everyone, but especially athletes for athletic performance as well as injury reduction. Mobility is key. So if you have spent most of your life lifting weights and not focusing on mobility, this is going to be best for you. I am definitely one of those people that I prefer to lift more than I stretch. So mobility is huge for me, and I see a reduction in pain. I see way less injuries. So just remember that if you are an athlete, mobility. Core, that's important too. Before I show you guys the demonstrations, I just want to make a note that this is going to be a little different. Usually I'll show 3 to 5 exercises, and then I'll kind of explain like how many sets, how many reps. On the stretching, every single stretch is going to go right in a row, okay? So don't worry about the sets, and then you're going to get to a break where I'm going to explain what to do from that point. We're starting off this video with reverse scorpions. Remember, 5 on each side here. Double leg glute bridges, also known as hip thrusters. Feel free to add an extra 5 to this one if you're up to it. Another one of my favorites here, I don't have a name, so I just call this foam roller Peck stretch. Second variation of the foam roller Peck stretch, and consider these 2 different exercises, so make sure you do 5 of each and then do the other side as well. Here we have our fire hydrants, 5 of those guys. Then you're kick your leg back, and you're going to do straight leg fire hydrants. And then we're going to do 5 bird dogs. Opposite arm, opposite leg. I could have done a better job at not kicking my leg so high on that one. Make sure you do the other side as well. Child pose rotations, and that is probably not the proper name, but that's what I call them. Again, 5 in a row. Make sure you hit each side of this. We're going to call these ones eyes. You just want to point your thumbs backwards and then raise your arms up as high as you can, trying to keep your arms nice and straight. You can do these standing or kneeling or sitting. These are called chin tucks. I try to do a really good job kind of exaggerating what I was doing so that you could really see. But what you're doing here is you're pulling your head back and tucking your chin in like you're giving yourself a double chin. So it's just really good for your spine and those upper body muscles. It's not so much of a stretch, but it's good for you, trust me. And these you want to do 10 of. So I've decided to call these cradle leg raises. I think it makes more sense than the other name I had for them. And on these, you want to do 5 on each side. This is also a leg cradle variation. The only difference is you're using the floor to cradle that leg. So you want to get one leg in front of you, kind of like crossed, like Indian style. The other leg is back behind you. The straight leg, you want to squeeze the glute and push the hips forward. I'm going to adjust my foot here, and that's just kind of going to change the stretch a little bit for me. I like to have my ankle high and low, and again, squeezing that glute. So you might be able to see it a little bit better this side. So I'm going to bring up my opposite leg, kind of like Indian style. I'm going to come as close to the ground as I can get, and I'm going to squeeze my right leg, the leg that's right in front of the camera, and I'm going to squeeze that glute and push that hip forward. It's really hard to see. It's not super obvious. Bent over flies. This is just a kneeling variation. I showed you guys this one standing up, so I would do this one standing up, and make sure you point your thumbs at the ceiling when you do it. 10 reps on that one. Spiderman variation. Stepping opposite leg, opposite arm, pushing your hips forward, trying to get your back nice and straight. You're going to do 5 on each side again on this one. Bent over rotations. You're going to hands are going to come together like you're clapping and knuckles pointed out. Couch stretch, another one of my favorites for those hip flexors. We've done this one, so I'm not going to go over it crazy, okay? But here it is. Squeeze those glutes, push those hips forward. Try to get your back foot up as high as you can. Bent arm pec stretch. I want you guys to make sure that you do 5 of each of the variations here. So right now my arm is at 90 degrees, and then I raise it up and I do 5 more from that angle. And again, both sides on that. Here's a new one for stretching your lats. You want to find a stick, whether that be a broomstick, a Swiffer stick, a baseball bat, a hockey stick, but we all have got something laying around. You are going to face your knuckles away from you, okay? And your palms are going to be faced towards you. You want to start out wide, and you've got to, really important, pull your back nice and flat on the ground here and hold it the whole time. The closer your hands are, the harder the stretch is, the farther away, the easier it's going to be. So I worked my way inwards as I went, but I started out really wide. You guys are just going to have to kind of feel it out for yourselves. Maybe you just start to notice the more you do it, the closer you're able to get your hand. At this point of the video, you are going to restart it and go through the whole thing again. So that series you will go through twice. Again, do every exercise right in a row. If I did not specify to do 10, then just do 5. All right, you guys made it to the second half of the video. So now is where we get into the core. And this is it after this. And I will explain how to do that as well. It's going to be broken up into 2 series, 5 exercises each. I'm going to call these ones V-up halves because you are doing half of a V-up. If you need to have someone hold your feet or put something over them, as you hit the top, push your chest through, pull your arms back. This is going to give you a good pec and lat stretch. It's also just going to be really good for your posture. And it feels good. And thumbs pointed backwards. I want 8 of these right in a row. Single arm and leg V-ups. You're going to go 5 on each side of these. Single arm and leg Supermans, 5 on each side as well. Reverse crunchies, you can do 12 of these. Remember, don't go too fast on these guys, nice and slow. You're going to feel a better burn. Single leg glute bridges, you're going to do 6 on each side. This is the final exercise of the first circuit. After you finish this one, you're going to rest 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're going to repeat all 5 exercises. Those 5 exercises are to be done right in a row. There's no rest in between each one. You rest at the end. Repeat this 3 to 5 sets. Core circuit 2, first exercise, leg raises. You're going to want to do 8 reps of these. Ceiling touches, you're going to want to do 15 of these guys. Don't go too fast, kind of like the reverse crunchies. Pace yourself so you get a nice burn going. This next exercise, I'm going to call penguins because I feel like a penguin when I do it, but you're just reaching side to side for your heels. If you bring your feet a little further away from you, it'll make it a little harder. You're going to want to do 10 on each side, so 20 total. Scorpions, we did reverse scorpions in the beginning of the video. Now we're on to just regular old scorpions, and you guys are going to do 5 on each side of this. Final exercise, Russian twists, and you guys are going to want to do 10 on each side, so 20 total. Same with the other circuit. You guys want to repeat this 3 to 4 times.
Keep on stacking in. Keep on stacking in.